Welcome to Reflect on This. Hello, I am Johnny Henshaw. This is the podcast version of devotionals I send to my family and friends. In these devotionals, I share the things I'm learning about the ways and nature of God through applying my study of the Scriptures to the world around me. In the show notes, you will find the complete list of my recommended resources, including helpful podcasts, books that inspired some of these episodes, and ministries that I want you to know about. In the show notes, you will also find something new, a link that you can use to send a text directly to the podcast with your comments and questions. So let's get started. Please join me today as we reflect on this. In episodes 26 and 27 of this podcast, I shared with you several modern-day examples of people whose lives became a preparation, orchestrated by God, for fulfilling their dreams in unexpected ways, even bigger than originally imagined. Today, I want to share with you yet another illustration of a life of unexpected preparation and of significant outcome. Mark Lowry, Christian humorist and longtime member of the Gaither Vocal Band, was born in 1958 to Christian parents. He has used his humorous view of his own life and the world around him to spread the gospel message for decades in a spontaneous and fresh way. Growing up in a Baptist church in Texas, Lowry recalls a time when he was 12 years old that he responded to the preacher's invitation to come forward and receive, quote, wisdom like Solomon, unquote. In Lowry's humorous way, he describes how he said to himself, "Well, I could use some of that. So I went up to the altar and asked the Lord for wisdom," end quote. The other prayer he offered up to God at the altar that day was that he would do something that would outlive him. The answer to that request has most clearly come to fruition through his writing of the lyrics to the Christmas song, "Mary, Did You Know?" Mark Lowry penned the lyrics in 1984 as a series of questions that he would have liked to have asked Mary, mother of Jesus. He wrote the lyrics while he was scripting a church Christmas play. 7 years later, Buddy Greene wrote the music. It was first recorded in 1991 when Lowry was 33 years old. Now, more than 33 years later, it is a classic Christmas song recorded by more than 30 artists. It is also one of my personal favorites. I have included a link in the show notes of a short video of Mark himself singing a moving rendition of this song. I encourage you to watch this video. It will stir your soul. Listen carefully to these insightful lyrics. "Mary, did you know that your baby boy will one day walk on water? Mary, did you know that your baby boy will save our sons and daughters? Did you know that your baby boy has come to make you new? This child that you've delivered will soon deliver you. Mary, did you know that your baby boy will give sight to a blind man? Mary, did you know that your baby boy will calm a storm with his hand? Did you know that your baby boy has walked where angels trod? When you've kissed your little baby, you've kissed the face of God. The blind will see, the deaf will hear, and the dead will live again. The lame will leap, the dumb will speak the praises of the Lamb. Mary, did you know that your baby boy is Lord of all creation? Mary, did you know that your baby boy will one day rule the nations? Did you know that your baby boy is heaven's perfect Lamb? This sleeping child you're holding is the great I Am." This is yet another illustration of how God can fulfill our dreams and desires even when they are formed in us at an early age, especially when they are noble and God-honoring. Mark Lowry is another modern-day example of this principle. Here's my point. I encourage us all to ask God for a dream or vision of something significant to advance His kingdom in your family, your community, the body of Christ, and the world. Something that will outlive you. And then patiently wait for God to supernaturally fulfill that vision or dream. Hebrews 12 verses 1 through 2 says, "Let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of faith." Like Mark Lowry, the fulfillment of our dream or vision will probably come in an unexpected way. Might seem that it will never come to fruition. Will probably look different than what we expected, but will always be better than what we expected. This will remind us that we cannot do it by ourselves. We need God. It will confirm that God was actively involved in it and will bring Him further glory. And in the process, it will teach us more of the ways and nature of God. Isaiah 55:9 says, "For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts, declares the Lord." Would you join me in asking God for a dream or vision of something significant to advance His kingdom? Something that will outlive us? Today, I encourage you to reflect on this.